Good morning, Texoma, and thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Ashley Fitzwater, and today we're going to be taking an inside look into Idea WF. It is an annual business competition that takes place right here in Texoma and is designed to really help people start and grow a business. So if you have an idea, if there's something you'd like to do, maybe your business is small and you just really want to kick it up another notch, this is a great program, a great competition for you to take part in, and it all benefits our community.
That's right.
Which is just another big bonus as well. So it's a win-win here. Dr. Jeff Stambaugh is joining me now with the latest today, and he is out at MSU, the director of the Leilani Center and also the Idea WF competition director. So
thanks for letting me be here.
Absolutely. Well, we are excited to talk about this. I cannot believe it's been 5 years, 5th year since Idea WF kicked off, and there's been winners named. We're going to hear from them in just a little bit and how it's changed their careers and success here in this community. But now we want to talk about what it is in case there's people that are new to the community, maybe those new ideas have been forming recently, and how this can help them.
So Idea WF is a business plan competition, but it's not about writing a plan. It's about writing a plan that you're going to use and actually do something with your business. You really get two things by participating in Idea WF. One is you go through the process. So we give you some of the mechanics of what it takes to launch and grow a successful business through in the development of the business plan. And then for some lucky winners, they actually get a wonderful prize package. This year it's our largest ever. It's going to be worth approximately $75,000. I say approximately because we frankly get people contacting me wanting to do extra things, and we don't say no to that. Some of that's cash, some of it's in the professional services that startups need to get off. And so really you can't lose in this process. At worst, you get some training, you get valuable feedback from a panel of great judges on your business. At best, you walk away with a lot of stuff at the end.
How did this even start? I mean, was this an idea, so to speak, in your head or in someone's head?
Like so many entrepreneurial stories, it's not clean cut and dried. When I came here 5 years ago and took over the Leilani Center, I was given a whiteboard and said, draw on this. And one of the ideas that kept popping up was this idea of hosting a business plan competition. And I went and talked to a lot of people. We created a task force. Former mayor, at that time he was the mayor, Lanham Lyon, agreed to chair it because he thought entrepreneurship was important. And here we are. A lot of people signed up to give a lot of time for free and a lot of prizes and a lot of money to the competition. And it's just grown from there. And you see, even in Texas, there are some of the bigger cities that are now popping up similar programs.
Wow.
I'm not suggesting they're following us or modeling themselves after us, but this idea of creating your own and supporting your own, it's got a lot of traction.
I also love how this impacts our community, and that is kind of one of the requirements or qualifications when it comes to your idea, correct?
That's right. At the core, the original impetus for the competition was economic development. We've all seen lots of jobs leave Wichita Falls in the area, and this is about creating our own sets of jobs. But when you do economic development, if it's another retail establishment or something like that where it's us serving ourselves, those are great businesses, but they don't bring new money into the area. The way you bring new money into the area is you do something here that then is sold elsewhere. And so that's one of the requirements for the competition, is that 50% or more of the revenue for this business has to come from outside of Wichita, Archer, and Clay counties within 3 years of the contest.
Now, do you have to know how all of that's going to happen?
No, that's part of the process, frankly, is we help you walk through the process of building that business plan, which is where you address those key areas, pick it apart, and provide a lot of advice.
There are 3 different categories that you can enter in, correct? Or 3 different winners?
There's 3 different winners. There's 2 different categories. One is what we call the Startup Go category, and this is for someone who doesn't have any revenue at all or has just earned a little bit of revenue over the past couple of years, not such that they can afford to work in it full time or something like that. And then we also have another category that we call the Grow category. These are for businesses that are up and operating. They've made significantly more revenue over the past 2 years, but they're looking to take it, as you said, to the next level. And we do that to try to make it so that we're not trying to pit a company that has a decent amount of revenue with a startup. And then the third winner is we call the Judge's Choice. They didn't win this award, they didn't win this award, but we love them and we want to give them a prize package too.
I love it. What about the impact on our community. Are we seeing that from this competition?
Sure. We've had, there are several businesses that I could go through the years that are either in business or they've expanded their businesses and they've created new jobs.
What is the best part about this program in your opinion?
You know, I think everybody wants to say the prizes, and when you get the past winners up here who did win prizes, that's what they'll probably say. But I have a lot of people tell me that they were thinking about closing their business or giving up. And having deadlines, having expectations, it propelled them forward. It gave them that momentum to keep going forward. So I'm proud of all the winners. I'm proud of all the entrants. There's a couple of businesses around town that I know where they got their original idea because I read the first business plan for that idea. And we're proud of them all. So I think it's just the structure to create momentum.
I love it. It's a lot of dreams, it seems, becoming realities because of this. There are some dates coming up that you definitely need to know about, including orientation. December is kind of the first deadline you're looking at, but we need to take a quick break. We're going to talk much more about that, also the fee to enter, and really how to make this happen so you can get the ball rolling for your dreams. So stick around, Texoma. We'll be right back with much more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are taking an inside look into IdeaWF. Now we want to talk about how it works.
Okay. The first thing, the most important thing if someone has questions is I recommend they go to the website, which is very simply www.ideawf.com. It has a lot of information. Process-wise, I encourage people to attend the orientation sessions. They're coming up. The dates are all on the website. They're in the end of October and into early November. And at the orientation session, we talk about the contest, lay out the rules, and then we give them the first piece of training, which is how do you write an executive summary. What that really is an overview of a business. And so that's the first thing they have to enter the contest with is that executive summary. That executive summary will be due by the 4th of December, and then we hand it to our judges. We have 5 wonderful judges this year that are all experienced entrepreneurs. And the reason that's important is they're going to give this person feedback. That is the single most valuable piece of information they can get. They want to be told, this is the best plan I've ever read.
Sure.
We want to hear that, but we're probably not going to hear that. And it's, you know, faithful are the wounds of a friend. So they're going to tell you, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Thought about that. From that initial judging, we cut the field down to 15. And then those 15 are invited to submit a full business plan. The reason we do that is no sense in asking someone that we don't think has a good chance of competing to go through all the work of a full business plan, and it allows us to focus our resources on those 15. They will turn that in towards the end of February, and then from those 15, the judges will provide more feedback and select the finalists. Normally about 6, but I give them flexibility on the number. And then on April the 1st, April Fool's Day, those 6 peoples will stand up in front of the judges and give an oral presentation, and from that we pick the winner. So 3 stages to the competition, and it all ends with a luncheon at MSU on April the 2nd. Put it on your calendar now.
Absolutely. That's when the winners are announced, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's
so they don't know if they've won or not until that night. Is that
no?
also
And
correct?
actually, you'll hear from one of the finalists today. He'll tell you, or one of the winners who said he almost didn't attend the luncheon because he was convinced after
didn't
talking
win.
with me after the fact that he'd lost, and he was so bummed out. And so I thought I was a much better poker face than I ever give myself credit for.
Well, I'm sure he's glad he decided to go ahead and go.
I don't know about him. I sure am.
No kidding. You know, a lot of people's fear, I would think, would be getting up in front of people and public speaking, and of course making a pitch, you know, about your dream and your passion. You may think that would be easy, but even more, maybe a little more anxiety because it is so personal. Do you help coach them through that?
You bet. At every stage there's training. There's training on how to write the executive summary. Then for those that are selected to submit a business plan, there's training on how to write a business plan. And then for those that are going to make the presentations, we give them training on that. And we usually spend the last several days before the presentation doing lots of dry runs. Again, the folks that are going to follow me can tell you how much fun that is or isn't. when we sit down and say, you're talking too long about this, you need to mention that. And it's a very intense process. But everybody benefits from that. One of the finalists last year was the Wichita Falls BMX. They didn't win, but they took that same presentation that I had honed them on to the 4B board and got funding.
That's awesome.
So a non-winner was really a winner.
Yeah, that's amazing. So don't let that discourage you, Texoma, if you hear, I don't know how to write up a report,
Right.
I don't know how to get up in front of people and make a pitch, a presentation. There's lots of training. I think that's awesome. And there is a fee. Can you quickly tell us what that
There's
is?
a $100 fee, and the reason for that is simple. If it's worth something, you ought to be willing to pay for it. And we think that the feedback that you're going to get from the judges and the training that you're going to get through the process is worth a lot. It just helps people say, I'm committed to this. You know, it's one thing to say, I went to the orientation session, I'm not going to spend any money. If I'm going to put $100 down, I'm going to give it my best shot.
You're invested now. Yes, absolutely. We are going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. Texoma will be right back with much more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we're taking an inside look at IDEA WF, and it is just a great competition, not only for our community, but also for folks that live in our community, and that could include you. Joining me now, of course, Dr. Stanbaugh, and also Gary Keeney, and he is a recent winner of IDEA WF. And Gary, we were talking in the break, and I have to tell you, his story is inspirational. So, you know, if you have a dream, listen up, because you're just proof that this can really work for someone. How did this happen?
I went to the people at the Small Business Development Center with my idea, and they pulled so much out of me that I didn't know that I could have come up with. They developed my ideas for me, basically. I knew I had an idea. They just asked so many questions. They drew so much out of me. All of a sudden, we had a plan, and I wouldn't have had that plan had it not been for them. And it gave me the confidence to go forward.
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, 5 years ago, you were working at a computer company at Dell. And tell me how this dream of beef jerky even started.
It was a competition proposition. Somebody claimed to have the best jerky. I claimed to have better jerky. I showed up with the better jerky, and I won. And people started coming to me to buy jerky at Dell. And I made the comment to my friends, if I ever get laid off, which would never happen, I'll go into the jerky business. Well, of course, we all got downsized, and I went back home to Wichita Falls and got with these guys, and we developed a plan. And the plan's coming to fruition. We're having a heyday.
It's amazing to hear how last year you basically were selling your beef jerky. You had mentioned putting them in a baggie, going door to door, but now you have a storefront, and you were talking about expanding.
Right.
So, you know, can you just kind of take us back to here's my $100 investment, you know, that moment?
You have to have some faith in yourself, and you have to have a place to go like the Small Business Development Center that can help you develop your ideas. And when I approached them, they, of course, asked all the questions in the world, and I gave them the insights, and their enthusiasm rubbed off on me. I was really apprehensive about the whole proposition. It was a bad economy. It was a sketchy idea. It was beef jerky. It was, you know. But with their enthusiasm, failing to plan is planning to fail, and they made me come up with a business plan. I didn't have it before then. So I owe everything to them.
Yeah, he has a great calling card, though. He's smart. He leads with his jerky, and you taste it, and you go, yeah, I think this will sell.
Everybody will listen to everything I say once they've had a bite of my jerky.
It works.
So
How did this change your life?
well, I'm a small business owner now. I'm an owner of a small business that's actually working. I've got some credibility. One of the missions that my store has is we're not just out to make great jerky. We're out to raise awareness and funds for local youth ministries. And I can approach business owners for donations and such and have credibility because they've heard about the company, they've heard about our mission, and they say, oh, I've heard about you guys. Yeah, I'd love to jump in on this project of yours.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what people can expect when they walk into your store?
Well, first of all, it smells wonderful.
It does.
It's like Wimpy floating on air as he passes the hamburger joint. We make 9 flavors of our own jerky, and everybody has to try free. We make everybody eat free samples when they walk in the door. That's a must. If you've been there one time or 100 times, you have to eat jerky when you walk in the door. You'll see jerkies from all across the country, whether it be venison, elk, buffalo, alligator, camel, kangaroo. From Hawaii, we bring in pineapple jerky. From Alaska, we bring in salmon jerky.
I didn't know they had so many different types of jerky. And you're right. I mean, that's not something you would ever expect to find in Wichita Falls. So
It's, the search and the whole prospect of searching these jerky products out has been a blast.
that's
And the
interesting.
tasting parties is even more.
I
more
bet.
fun.
I bet. What do you think is the best part about this program, in your opinion?
Of course, the money doesn't hurt at all. The funds, in my case, helped us to expand our kitchen, increase our staff, things that I may not have been able to do on my own had it not been for the funds. The in-kind services are huge. Mountains, to me, became molehills simply because of what I was given for winning.
It sounds like Idea WF also helped speed up the process
Oh, absolutely.
in your dream and what you were trying to do. What is the next phase for you?
Growth, expansion. I'm looking at opening another couple of locations here within Wichita Falls very shortly. And then hopefully that'll lead to some new locations in cities away from Wichita Falls.
Why do you think it's so important to give back? Because I like how you said that. I mean, it looks like so much was poured into your business, and now you continue to give back
The
in
beef
that way.
jerky and the company is a byproduct of our mission to give back. That's how we're looking at it. The idea to do something special for youth ministries was something that my wife and I have been working on and talking about for quite a long time. We couldn't figure out a good vehicle to make this thing work. And the jerky thing came about because of the fact that we needed a vehicle. So God took care of us in that regard, and we're doing well with it.
And he was talking about that from the very beginning. And it wasn't because he won that he's doing this. He came here saying,
Right.
we want to bless others through our business.
Wow. Is it just, you hear people like this and you hear stories like this. Is this why we're doing this? I mean, was
bet.
that your dream, seeing somebody like Gary just come up this far?
Yeah, it's very inspirational to watch him grow, to know that he is hiring people.
Yeah.
And he and his wife are wonderful people. And when I swing by the store and see them smiling and talking about how good business is, yeah, it's wonderful.
I want to ask you about the judging process, because we talked a little bit earlier, and you have to make that pitch and go before people. Tell me about that. Was that intimidating? Were you just comfortable because they worked with you?
Of course, it's very intimidating. You're speaking in public. You've never done a slide presentation before, and you've got X amount of minutes. And he's sitting back there with a timer. But I don't know, when you're passion-driven and you get up in front of a crowd that can do you some good, then the best comes out of you, I guess. And they put me in a position to give it my best.
We really appreciate, Gary, your time today and sharing your story. And I told you it was inspirational. We gave you a warning at the beginning, and we
That's right.
love it. And there's another inspirational story. I told you 2 winners we're going to hear from today from this past year. So don't go anywhere. Texoma, much more on how Idea WF is changing lives and this community. So stick around. We'll be right back with much more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we're taking an inside look at Idea WF. We're speaking to the winners now of this amazing business plan competition. And joining me now is also another winner of Idea WF this year, Tony Corsott. And we appreciate you being here today, Tony. And you're here to talk about night logos. And I love this. You call this the 21st century bumper sticker, right?
That's how Dr. Stanbaugh called
That's
it.
great.
Yes.
It's a great explanation.
Okay, well, Night Logos is a company, and our first product line is a receiver hitch tail light. And what the receiver hitch tail light does is on the back of your vehicle, whether you have an SUV or a pickup, it will have a tail light that will shine the name of your school, like the Burke Burnett Bulldogs. Then at night, there's a projection that goes down on the ground, and you will actually see the Bulldog or the school logo, and we can make it for any high school across the nation. And it's really, really a cool product.
I love this. It's just one more thing, team spirit. You see the little stickers on the back of the window, and, parents I'm a parent of just a kid in elementary, you already want to put all the logos everywhere. It's just that pride, in your school and what it is that you do. And you said with football, which there's even more pride, and you're in Texas. I know this is going to be a nationwide thing, but I mean, there's a market there that it seems you've found.
You know, all of our booster clubs at any high school is always looking for that new idea and
Sure.
how can we raise money for the kids. And we've made this product at a price point to where we can share the wealth with the booster club. So we are marketing it as a booster club fundraising idea. So if you're in a booster club and your booster club doesn't have this yet, give us a call because we'd like to help you out.
I love that, and that's part of your goal from the beginning, right?
We went into the process of creating this light with a price point that we wanted to make it marketable to the final fan. And I set that goal at $40. Well, we were able to produce it for less than we thought, so we're actually going into the market with a suggested retail price of $30 to the fan. And we're selling the lights to the Booster Club for $20. So basically, the Booster Club makes $10 a light on a $20 investment. And that goes right back into it. And we're hoping they can use it to help the kids. You know, a lot of the smaller schools, the parents have to pay for the charter buses during playoffs and everything. And this is an item that they can grab onto, go out and make that money so that they may be able to pay for the charter buses and help out with the cost to support the boys or, you know, support the band or whatever booster club wants to do it. I mean, it's not just football.
I love it, you know, because it really does seem like a product that's going to sell itself. This is not just limited, though, to high schools. I know you had big dreams for this.
Yeah, we designed the product to where the lens is interchangeable, and you can change it out in 20 seconds. I mean, it's just really, it snaps in, snaps out. There is a locking mechanism on it that you can lock it out, so, you know, if you have students from one school coming over to another school that they can't change them out on you. So we've looked at that, but we designed it to where the lenses are interchangeable. After we get up and running, we plan on going out and we're getting licensed with the NCAA. We're going to get licensed with the NFL, Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, you know, NASCAR. And you can come to our website and you can order lenses for your favorite college team or your favorite pro sports team, and you can actually interchange the lenses out. So Friday night you can be a high school fan, Saturday you can be a college fan, Sunday you can be a pro fan. And then during the week, if you want to support a NASCAR driver, if you want to have a Harley-Davidson logo, or if you want to be breast cancer awareness, we're going to have all those lenses so you can just change it out. Like we said, 21st century bumper sticker.
I love it. That is so
Yeah,
cool.
no one's going to be able to own just one.
No,
They'll
not at
take off
all.
on the Lay's potato chip thing. You're going to want more than one lens.
You were in real estate,
Yes.
and then now, you know, this is your focus. This is your baby that is now your business. So can you talk about how IdeaWF changed your life and changed where you are today?
After hearing all the benefits of the Idea Wichita Falls contest, I decided it was something I wanted to do because I really wanted the in-kind services. I mean, that's what was important to me, to be able to utilize some other professionals to help me get everything started in the right direction of my new venture. So that's why I went over to Jeff, and that's why we got into it.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to win when you entered? I mean, you were already told by people, don't quit your day job.
I told Jeff from the very beginning I would not have entered if I didn't think I was going to win. Okay, now that's why I thought I had a great idea, and I went in to win. Now Jeff will tell you that on the very last day he convinced me I didn't win.
I didn't convince him he didn't win. I just wouldn't give him any read on
Okay,
whether
so
he
this
did
is the
win or
one who
not.
almost skipped the luncheon then.
I did
Connecting
almost.
the dots right now.
my daughter says, "Dad, do you think you're going to win?" I said, "I got about a 20% chance of winning because Jeff pretty much told me yesterday I didn't have a chance." So.
Obviously, I did not tell him that, but whatever.
Probably the most shocked person in the room when Mr. Brashear announced my name as the winner as the startup company. But it was really cool because I had actually delayed everything on starting my company so that Idea Wichita Falls can own what success we have.
For you personally, obviously it means a lot, but what does this mean for Wichita Falls, Texoma?
Well, it's a great avenue, and I told somebody this the other day, is it helped me to implement my imagination. I wanted a company logo. I don't have the software and a lot of the know-how to be able to make my company logo, but I had ideas. I had imagination on what I wanted my logo to look like. We were able to use the in-kind services and come up with a logo that I think is second to none. You know, it's just stuff that you may have been able to afford but didn't want to afford, or things that you would have never went out and done.
And for the community, the benefit's real clear. Tony's going to do all the final assembly here in Texoma, And he's looking at about 10 jobs from the get-go.
Yes.
And then it'll only grow from there. That's pretty significant.
One thing I want to share is that don't be intimidated by this process. If you don't win, it doesn't matter. What you learn through the process is immeasurable.
Thank you so much, Tony, for sharing, and we look forward to learning even more. He said he has lots of other ideas coming. Dr. Stambaugh, thank you for your time today
Thank
as
you for your
well.
time.
Thanks for joining us today, Texoma. We hope you have a wonderful day. As always, we'll see you back here for another look inside Texoma next Sunday.